All right, we are now joined by tomorrow's pole sitter, Carson Hocevar, driver of the number 77 Spire Motorsports Chevrolet. Carson, your first career pole here for the Cup Series, and you're the youngest to do so here at Texas Motor Speedway. Take us through your lap and how you're feeling.
Ultimately, I didn't think it was great through 1 and 2. It felt so comfortable and so much grip that I'm like, man, I could have used a little bit more throttle and everything. But it felt super smooth. And going through 3 and 4, it felt really good ride quality. Obviously, easy, wide open, cut distance. And they said it was P1. And that's ultimately where I was like, man, it felt so good. It felt slow. So, yeah, really fortunate, really thankful to have a fast car. Obviously, fastest at practice. You'd want to do it again, obviously, in qualifying and be able to back that up. I think it's really important for our group and showing the strength of being able to go from practice to qualifying adjustments and way we've been going, be able to do that to the race too, and just put together a whole weekend and whole race worth of adjustments. And I think we're getting a lot closer right now.
All right, we are going to go straight to questions. We will start right up here with Reed Spencer.
Reed Spencer with the NASCAR Wire. Looking at the ghost car and the comparisons, it looked like you made huge gains coming to the green, actually, but you really had no sense of how fast the lap really was. I mean, second fastest lap in next gen era.
Yeah, I mean, I had no idea. Even my normally you could see lap time on the dash, and even that didn't work right away. And so it gave you a little bit of like, man, I don't know how good this was. And luckily they told me pretty quickly, and I didn't have to wait in anticipation or anything. But obviously, with Michael going out and putting up a really good lap time, I felt like we were faster than him in practice. So it gave me a little bit of confidence that our stuff was going to be as quick, if not hopefully a little quicker. And to be able to back that up and for him to run a good lap, gave me a little bit more confidence in our car, honestly.
Let's go to Bob, and then Jeff.
My Pirates Fox Sports. Can you do 267 of those tomorrow?
I mean, the way the tires were in our long run, I hope so. Definitely is going to be a lot more feasible having clean air, right? It shows up and able to run really fast lap times out of the get-go and hopefully qualify for 267 of them. I think the most important for us is being able to, kind of determine our own fate a little bit more with pit road and how, everybody's going to have different agendas at times of 2 or none or 4 or whatever the case may be. And having to go all the way down pit road and have an open out is going to be super important for us of just trying to play that game and knowing that, hopefully it clogs some other guys up and we could take advantage there.
Let's go to Jeff.
Carson, at every level now that we've seen you, you've just had this sense of speed where, you're just naturally fast, it feels like. Where do you think this raw speed comes from? I mean, is that something that is, just innate, like ability, or something you've had to work at to find? Where is that?
I mean, I don't know, and it's not a fun answer to say I don't know, but I really don't. There's a lot of times where I don't know why I'm fast and why I'm slow at times, right? And I feel like I study different than a lot of them. I don't know everybody's sense, but I use SMT a lot less. I use real video a lot more. I look at dirt videos more. I look at, I was watching, I think the most footage I watched was about the 2007 to 2010 Texas races just for fun. But also, too, you kind of just get an idea. And I don't know. I just feel like I have a really good sense of, like, unloading. I feel like that's why we're always good unloading and just getting the limit. And I think that sort of studying helps me and has fit my style of just wanting to be present and learn it as I go. And there's been times where I know where my feet's supposed to be and I don't know where my hands are supposed to be yet, and I'll just figure out how to slow my hands down when I get there. And a lot of it's just been kind of trial by fire of not wanting to be slow, really, is I'm always trying to search and be creative and never put myself in a box. And I think looking at SMT or really getting too focused on the data of it puts me in that box or gets me second guessing myself. So I just know I go a lot off instinct and, natural feel and visible and just use as many senses as I can in the car. And, I try to live my life as confident and as free will as I can, just because I know I'm racing off instinct alone basically out there. And if I'm confident myself, I feel like I'll make confident decisions out there. Yeah, we're like polar opposites. Yeah, I mean, I remember when I first qualifying for a Cup car ever, I watched Joey Logano's in-car. I never even worried if he was P1 or P30. He was just the only in-car I could find on YouTube, and that's all I watched. And, I just listened to the visual cues and the throttle and just imagined what I would do in that, and felt like I remember running the lap, and I almost had that lap running in my mind. You can't get that from squiggly lines and fake GPS cars. And, and two, like, I feel like I can adapt super well, or I'm so visual that I'm always nervous that, if I watch someone make a mistake, that I put that in my mind. So I try to avoid even watching guys just because I don't want to second guess myself, even if it's wrong. I feel like I'm naturally going to be at my best when I'm just focused on me, honestly.
Let's go to Justin.
Justin Schuler, Athlon Sports. How much are you going to be watching and paying attention to this Xfinity race later today to see how the rubber builds up and how the grooves kind of spread out to prepare for Sunday?
Yeah, I mean, I'm probably going to hang out here as much as I can. I like to do that. I like to just be a race fan and go watch and watch rubber and watch different things, and you pick up one or two things, but I definitely will watch just to see the trends of it, but a lot of it's just me being a race fan and enjoying racing, and if I pick one or two things up, that's obviously a benefit, but I'll just probably be a race fan watching.
And then kind of to bounce off Jeff's question in combination with that, where does this kind of old school mentality come from of like listening to those visual cues and that feel and watching people react instead of the newer technology that you were saying with the fake GPS car and whatnot? Where does that kind of old school mentality come from?
I was a bad student at school. I don't know. I mean, I just always have been a visual learner. I mean, even when I was like a kid, racing quarter midgets, I lived watching racing. Like when I went home and for the week off, I found a disc of quarter midget videos that I remember visibly watching, and it's just how I did it. You didn't have that back then, right? I mean, it's such a different world, but it's just all I've ever known, and I haven't really been slow, so I don't want to change it, and I don't want to do anything. I know there'll be a time, and at some point in my career where I can't just go off visual or instinct, but I want to take advantage of that while I got it right now.
Do we have any final questions for Carson? All right, thanks for joining us, and congratulations.
Thank you.